Hey, Stan Deaton with the Georgia Historical Society. Welcome back. Recently, the Georgia Historical Society posted on one of our platforms on social media some biographical information about Hernando de Soto. Of course, he is one of the most notorious of the Spanish conquistadors of the 16th century. We were almost immediately accused of celebrating this figure, making a hero out of someone who was, of course, responsible for death and devastation, not only among Native Americans in the American Southeast, but also, of course, played a key role in the conquest of Central and South America. He brought death, destruction, rape, pillage, murder, violence, enslavement to millions of Native Americans in what can only be described as genocide. A key role in what historians have termed the Columbian exchange of cultures that began with the European conquest, exploitation, and exploration of the Americas in the late 15th century. But because we were not apparently condemnatory enough of Hernando de Soto in this post, we were accused of celebrating this man. Similarly, a few years ago, during the sesquicentennial of the American Civil War, the Georgia Historical Society put up a series of new historical markers that was based upon more recent scholarship published over the last generation on different aspects of the Civil War that had been overlooked when the more traditional markers were put up in the 1950s and 60s. One area was Sherman's March to the Sea. We put up a new marker in Atlanta, where the march began, and a new marker in Savannah, where it ended. Now, these markers overturned the traditional narrative of General Sherman as a purveyor of genocide who came into Georgia illegally and rained death upon the men, women, and children of Georgia, killed all the livestock, destroyed all the food, and basically destroyed all the property in Georgia, and then left a devastated population in his wake. Our markers were more nuanced because the scholarship over the last generation has overturned and moved past the lost cause interpretation of Sherman and the March to the Sea. Our markers reflected this. But for a lot of people, it was a bridge too far. They got upset because they said, why are you celebrating General Sherman? Why are you trying to make a hero out of this man who was clearly a war criminal? Now, in neither case was this what we were trying to do, whether Hernando de Soto, whether it's General Sherman, or any number of other programs and people that we've examined across the years, whether it be Thomas Jefferson, Leo Frank, a lynching, or President Lincoln. Our job at the Georgia Historical Society, of course, is to teach about the past, to help people gain a better understanding, not to celebrate it, not to condemn it. We believe that it is our job to take the scholarship that's published among professional historians and bring it to a wider audience through our publications, through our programs, through our markers, through our K through 12 teacher training and curricula, and of course, through our historical markers as well, and our social media posts. We do this in a variety of ways. We do it by collecting the primary sources of history, preserving them in our research center, making them available for research, and then incorporating those findings into our teaching. Ultimately, of course, we're trying to bring these findings to an audience, a lay audience that's hungry for good history. Ultimately, also, what we're trying to do by shining a bright light into what is sometimes a very dark past and dark corners of the past is to shine more light on the human condition, on the virtues and vices that makes us more human and makes the people in the past more human. And ultimately, we are doing this so that we can hopefully create a better future together. Stay safe, stay strong. I'm Stan Deaton with the Georgia Historical Society. As always, thank you for watching.